Oh man, has it been a long time since I've put feet in a match from this game. If we can call this a match, because there's absolutely no one playing. It's abandoned, lost in all the shitty early access game launches of the past few years. Well, it's not a bad game actually, it has that little something to it that I love, but there's just no one to play with. I remember finding these alleys. The graphics are pretty good too, just look at all the shadows here, it's pretty good. I'm making this video today because we might have some good news to share finally from this game, World War III. World War III is a game that I haven't heard in a really long time. What was thought of as the battlefield killer, no really, that's what people were saying, is now a completely empty game that's also been taken out of Steam. I'm not saying the game is bad, in fact it was pretty good at its peak, with full servers and no bugs, but its disastrous launch literally killed the game in an instant. World War III went from having more than 10,000 players at once on launch day to 800 players a bit less than 2 months later, which is crazy. The game was great, but the lag and many bugs were overwhelming. Fast forward almost 3 years later right now, World War III is no longer a game you can buy anywhere and is abandoned. But there's a but. The developers called the Farm 51 is still planning a huge comeback sometime this fall 2021, if not sooner than that hopefully, and as an exciting free-to-play experience as they said. If you've been following the game's development, you may have seen the developers partnered with a new publisher to get the project back on track and have a more exciting future with who we call My Games as of April 2020. That partnership would allow them to create the experience they wanted to make since the very beginning. It's still kind of worrying that even more than a year later they haven't announced its comeback, but well, the most recent news, which is about a month ago, actually confirms this kind of reboot of World War III is still happening and it will be coming to consoles too. Let's get into it and see what this revival is all about. Now first off, here's a very quick description of what the game is about. World War III is a multiplayer military FPS set in a modern global conflict. Strong team play, national armed forces, real location, full body awareness, and a versatile customization system all contribute to the authenticity of the modern combat experience, enhanced by other essential elements such as a robust ballistic system, advanced armor, and lifelike weapons. Produced in cooperation with military R&D centers and consultants, World War III shows the consequences of every battle in the context of a global war campaign on a strategic war map with vehicles. Now that you know what it's all about, let's get into the new details. Thanks to a recent investor report that's in Polish and has been translated to English, we know that crossplay with console support is something the team is really looking forward with World War III's relaunch, highly rumored to be this fall 2021. We know it is something very important to them, and I'm pretty glad to hear this. A free-to-play all-out FPS experience is 100% something that would interest people on consoles, let alone PC. What's even better is that according to this report, the developers are now in the fixing stages of World War III's development, meaning they finished all the main features and many upgrades they wanted to add, which pretty much confirms that a release or an announcement could be coming soon. Not to say that the developers themselves confirmed they're pretty excited on starting the game's marketing soon. They're very excited to show it off to us all and to see the changes it has gone through. Everything about World War III has been upgraded or simply changed. All the maps, which will of course include new maps, new game modes, game features, vehicles, and so on. All this will make for a completely new World War III that could still be appealing to players thanks to it being free to play. If you needed to buy it, Battlefield 2042 would have killed the game in an instant. Now it can survive a little bit more, I guess. Of course, that will all be something we'll know about when it's actually revived and when we hear something more official from it. For now, the Farm 51 is promising us we will see brand new theaters of wars that will expand to Asia. They're expanding into new territories and adding new maps and gear from Asia. Apart from the Team Asian Theater of War content, they will also update the game with more content from all around the world. More toys to play with, new vehicles to drive around in, and new things to drop onto the enemy. Like I said, they're also planning to to look back at existing maps to implement some of the feedback they got from us to make them a better experience for everyone and better places to fight. They're also gonna change the overall movement system, which felt really old at times and you couldn't even see your weapon when running and things like that. The new movement system is crucial for them in terms of gameplay and pushing forward with more content. They have done a lot of work and preparation for expanding the game and they're really happy with how it all turned out. New movement system will elevate World War III in terms of gunplay, also the movement itself, animation quality, and future expandability, as said by them. World War III relaunch will also feature real-time weapon customizations, just like what we've seen in the Battlefield 2042 trailer in the elevator. World War III will too have that same feature where you'll be able to customize your weapons on the go. Overall, there is a ton of stuff promised by the developers, and I'm really hoping they'll be able to bring all of this to life. It is hopefully still a matter of time before we have the official reveal, and we'll all get to play something new. With all these new features, maps, vehicles, and so on, it sure looks like a different game than what we have right now. Let's hope they'll also be able to keep it alive and fresh with new updates. Let me know what you guys think of it, and if you'd like to see more videos on this game, since it might have a promising future. Make sure you subscribe to stay tuned, and I'll talk to you all very soon. Thanks to Richard Westfall, Bruce Rain 236, Thunderbeard, Kianzo Fagari, Rickno23, Diamond Hunter 45, Themistocles, Space Beer Gaming, and Rash Singbati for being a master member on the channel. You can become a survivor member for as low as 99 cents only by clicking the join button below. This will support me and the channel as a whole to continue making videos on the games that truly deserve it.